everybody.
Welcome to 2021.
Oh yeah, 2021. Can it be any worse?
It
could.
2020 could have gotten worse, but there were some good things out of 2020.
Hopefully, it's going to be a great year. We need to be optimistic, absolutely optimistic about it. So, yeah, we thought we'd sit down and just kind of go over last year
And some of the
and
things
hit the
that happened-
highlights and
some of the things that happened to us and our puppies.
yeah, kind of a crash catch up on Abby the Pap and Mars the Blind Sheltie and Concord
Zeva.
Traveler.
And Zeva the Queen. So why don't we start with Zeva?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It
Zeva-
still is hard. It will be hard forever. I still find myself sometimes in tears over R2 and Duff and Angel. So they all touch us in different ways. Obviously, Abby is much more in tune with me, and obviously Mars is in tune with Steve. So yeah, Zeva was it was a shock when it happened.
Zeva was one of those special dogs, and she really touched your heart. She could be caring and cuddling when she needed to. She could be playful and have fun when she wanted to. She was the one when I took her out on walks, she would just set the pace. I still reminded when I leave a napkin around, she's not there to pick it up for me. Those are the little things you miss. We lost Zeva. She had a brain tumor. We diagnosed that in 2019. She started having seizures. She made it a year. And then in the summer of 2020, we lost her, as many of you know. But it's always the good memories I think about when I think about Zeva. And that's what's special about her. She had so many good memories that she brought to us. So, and then it was sort of interesting because it was really almost a transition because we got Mars 2 years ago.
2 years ago in December.
And so we had Mars and Zeva at the same time for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And Mars started to not take Zeva's place, but play a big part in the family. And so Mars has been dealing with, as most of you know, the stomach issues. We tried, when was the fecal transplant, in January?
Made a decision in November to go ahead and go with a fecal transplant.
That was November of 2019. So
Right.
that in 2020, we actually tested
Correct.
that. And truth be told, we didn't get the results that we truly were hoping for. And then we were going to go
Well,
back
we were hoping for a miracle.
Yeah, we've been hoping for
But
that.
for the poor guy, but yeah.
So we were going to go back for a second trial, but that's when COVID hit. It was around the March time frame.
Yeah, they had told us that when we first went down, they said, don't get your hopes up. Usually it takes 2, sometimes 3 attempts at a fecal transplant.
For that good bacteria to take hold.
Right. And that's what a fecal transplant is you're implanting fecal matter from a donor dog that passes very stringent criteria.
So that you get the good bacteria from that to implant into the gut.
Right, and
Mars.
you're hoping that when they put it in, that it takes, that the good bacteria stays. It's kind of interesting. They literally put it in. I didn't see it, but I was told. And then after they put it
You're not going to
in,
give descriptions here.
after they put it into him, they hold him upside down. They swaddle him like a baby and hold him upside down for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know how Mars did that, but he did.
So when we couldn't go back for the second one,
Yeah, because of
Nancy did
COVID, we couldn't.
research and found that there's also another method of getting this good bacteria, and it's by putting the, I guess, dehydrated fecal matter with the bacteria in it in pill form.
Yep.
And then we started giving him the pill form.
It's a special casing that they put it in, and it deteriorates at the point in his digestive system that they want it to. They don't want it to do it too soon. So it's a very timed, it's like your time release medicine.
So the end result still, while he was gradually improving over the entire time, we didn't see that miracle cure that we were looking for. He was, in the middle of the year, really pretty good. And then I think in the fall, he started getting a little loose stools again.
After you do the fecal transplant, about a month later with this particular company, they do a DNA test. So we had one done.
To see what kind of bacteria.
We've had three done with him now.
Well, you had it done before.
Yep, we had it done before.
Than after, so we could see what different bacteria.
Right, but we had it done almost a year earlier, and then didn't do any. And the one, if you look at all three of them, he has increased his biome.
He has
his
improved.
biome has definitely improved. It's still lacking, and the other big thing that with Mars was, and I think from the get-go, he had Giardia, and that was a battle that we just couldn't win. For a year and a half, he was on three different antibiotics. So we virtually wiped out his biome. So this is what we're trying to do now, is to rebuild that biome.
But we did find in 2020, we did get rid of the Giardia.
Yes, when we did the test, after we did the pill form, we found the Giardia was gone, which was like, well, it wasn't just the pill. I had also researched about diatomaceous earth, and I think
that is what
the
killed off the
diatomaceous
parasites.
earth is what got rid of the Giardia.
Yeah.
You can look it up, do a Google search on diatomaceous earth. Maybe we can put our
Max loves trying to pronounce that.
he does a pretty darn good job.
He does.
Yeah.
What is this?
Diatomaceous earth.
Diatomaceous earth.
One in here.
Okay, put one in there. Not too much. There you go. Get the spoon. Ooh, that's too much. That's too much. No. That's still too much. Still too much. Whoop. That's not enough. Okay, there it goes. Just one more, just like that. Whoop. Okay. Okay, that's good. So, in the end result, where does Mars stand now? He's much better. Pooping and peeing is much better than it has been. It's almost getting consistent. He might need to go out once a night now. And there's still a few cycles when the stools will get a little bit loose, but they're more solid than they are loose.
Yeah, we went about, starting in like June, we finally could say he had perfect poop.
Yeah.
And that lasted about 6 weeks, maybe 8.
And he still has bouts of perfect poop, but he'll cycle into a little bit
But
loose.
yeah, that perfect poop was all the time,
But
every time he pooped.
If we were to take December 2020 to December 2019, he has come a long way. And so what we can say about 2020, it was a good year for Mars.
Yeah, for Mars, absolutely.
So,
now, what's on the docket for him? We have been recommended that we do a biopsy. That was the next step, was the biopsy. So we are going to plan on getting him back down to Sturbridge. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't even know if I can go in. I don't even know what it's like right now down there. But we need to take him in and get that biopsy so we can find out, hopefully, why he keeps having these well, they're not peaks. They're, just like
Little
this.
irregularities.
Yeah, irregularities. So we need to find out. And we've changed up his food as well. The diatomaceous earth has been straight.
I think what we found is keep it simple. There's just
Yeah.
one food. We're doing tripe for a while. One steady food, diatomaceous earth, the enzymes, and that's
Well, we
about
got
it.
him off. We had, for most of his life, he was on rice, chicken.
Not most
kelp.
of it, but there were times that we would put him on that to try to get him simple.
Anyways, now he's on a single ingredient food by Stella and Chewy, and we've seen good things from that. So,
Abby, what kind of year was it for Abadabadoo? Max loves to call her Abadabadoo. I love that.
yeah, because I call it, a lot of times I'll say Abba
Yeah.
instead of Abby. And he picked up on that, and pretty soon it was Abadabadoo. Yeah, Abby's had her ups and downs. She's 9 years old now, and
She's showing it. We saw pictures when she was younger,
gosh,
and
yeah.
she's a little bit grayer, a little bit lighter.
a lot lighter, which is normal. But yeah, her digestive system, I think a lot of it is just stress. When I'm not around,
Yeah.
if I leave for a week or so, whatever.
So in 2020, we were fortunate enough to be able to park the trailer at Austin and Matt's, and as a result, could just walk out the door and go see the grandkids, and the grandkids could come to the wedding, which Max loved doing every morning. And so there was a lot of times.
Camden was incapable of walking to the
Yeah.
trailer.
But there were a lot of times that you would spend the day with the grandkids, and Abby
Oh
had
yeah,
that
well,
separation anxiety.
yeah,
And that's what added to her.
yeah. Last year I did, from the summer on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And so that's what Abby has a hard time being away from mom. Look at her.
it's
She does.
stressful for her, and she's not the perfect puppy that y'all might think she is, but she's gotten to the point now with Max, when he's in the house, she gets in a very agitated, high-strung
Yeah. She
state.
doesn't like to share very
No, she doesn't like to share. And the funny thing is, Max adores her.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves her.
Because she's very small.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah,
because
not-
it's small, but he does. He adores the dogs. And when he's here, Mars just follows him everywhere. Yeah, so we spent I guess, with her, let's clean up about her. So she does have some medication, kind of like Pepto-Bismol type thing to calm the digestive enzymes, I guess, to keep her calm.
So what happens with her is her stomach will start to rumble, and it's a
Oh,
very loud,
it's loud.
rumble, and then she won't eat. So that's how her anxiety gets shown, is by not eating. Her stomach rumbles. It's not about loose stools or anything else. And then after a day or so, she'll get back okay. She'll
Yeah, I
start
think she's
eating,
never gone
and
more
then,
than a day.
yeah.
For one day. I start worrying if it's 2 days. But usually, once I get the medicine in her, which is very difficult to do, she won't take food. She's not food oriented, so if you can't stuff it in a pill pocket or hide it. We have tried, and it's very difficult to get her to open up her mouth to put it in. I have a pill injector that we used with him, and forget it. You cannot get it in. So I end up having to just a little bit of water, grind up the pill, shake it up, put it in a syringe, and getting it into her. Once she's had it, like within a few hours, she starts to eat again. So, yeah, she's showing her age. She's definitely showing her age, but she's still queen.
Well, with the passing of Zeva,
Oh, yeah.
Abby has gone from being a
That's-
princess to the queen, and she is queen of the house. And so she has taken on that role seriously, I think.
Yeah. don't know that she does miss Zeva,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's a terrible, awful
Yeah. Not
type
like we do.
of missing. Mars, I do believe, misses Zeva a lot.
Mars misses the playmate. Zeva would play
That was
with.
Zeva was the playmate,
Yeah.
and Zeva would engage. It's been how long now since Zeva?
It was summer,
8
It's
months.
been about 7 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
And and Abby will at least at this point go nose to nose with them, but then she just walks away while he is trying to engage, and like, come on, play, play, and she goes just kind of, and off she goes.
So I guess the other big news for our family was in April, I was a victim of COVID cutbacks. So the company released my position in April, and it made us reevaluate life. We were in a position, they gave us a good severance, it gave us time to sit back and think about where we were going, what we wanted to do with life, and also, what are the priorities in life? I did a short little video about priorities. And if you watch the dogs and the kids, I think they sometimes have better priorities than adults do in terms of what's important in life. Adults can get very anxiety-ridden and diverted from what really matters. With COVID, that's meant a lot. Being able to hug grandkids, being able to be close, being able to be with family. Those things also, I think, came up. And so we've decided from all of this, we're going to go ahead and sell the house sometime spring 2021.
As soon as
we
we can
just
get
started
it.
the downsizing, which is not easy. And also spending 6 months in a trailer at Matt and Austin's, we can live that and enjoy that.
Yeah,
getting
we
out.
went over there just thinking we would stay for maybe 3 weeks, a month, to kind of help out with
And you didn't want to leave.
with Cam. No, I didn't. With Camden, and we got there in July, the end of July. Camden was born on the 5th of August, and then we decided at that point we should probably step back and let them have.
We did take a few trips.
Yeah,
We took
let
one
them
trip.
have some bonding time together as a family.
We took a
and
trip
so we
to
left.
Vermont, Geechee State Park,
Yep.
which was kind of fun because even though it was raining all week.
Yeah,
we
that was
enjoyed
the.
that.
Yeah, and it was really I think a very good, at least for me, a time to reflect on Zeva and I think and grieve. I think it was really the first opportunity that we had to just sit and talk about Zeva and kind of start the grieving process. I mean, we certainly grieved at the very beginning, but I know I have mentioned this to several of the peeps. The way I see grief is like the tide. It's always there, always. Sometimes you get extraordinary high tides, king tides they call them, which can be very tumultuous and angry and do a lot of damage. And then there's times where the ocean is so calm.
So Geechee was a good getaway, let the family be a family bond and finish the grieving process. So I think the second trip we took was to the White Mountains. And I really enjoyed that trip because it gave me a sense of, if we do start traveling around the U.S. and Canada, what it would be like, what a week would be like. We got out and hiked a couple of times, took the dogs out. loved spending the night looking at stars. It was the first time we got stargazing.
We did a couple evenings of that. It was really,
see.
really nice.
I got to go out and fly
Amazing.
the drone, drown the drone in a creek.
Yep.
You got to
Steve
get
got
a
his.
fishing license?
I got the payback
Yeah.
since I put mine in a tree. He put his in the water.
Yeah, mine's worse.
Yeah.
But it recovered. We can still fly it. You got a fishing license. How was
Yep.
the fishing?
Got a fishing license. Frustrating. I need lessons. The last time I fished, I was probably 8, 9 years of age. Maybe a little bit older than that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that we did often. My grandparents had a cabin on a lake, and we would go up usually once a year.
Yeah.
And that's I would fish the whole time with my granddad and my grandma.
But it's a
But
start.
It was a start. It's something new. Figured I maybe needed to learn to fish so I could take Max and Camden fishing, and just something else to introduce to them, because I had fond memories. I still have fond memories of fishing. So, yeah, I'll learn how to do it.
But I think that's part of the adventure, is being able to get out and try new things and do new things.
I noticed you didn't get your fishing license.
No, I had enough fishing. I love fishing. I do not like cleaning fish. So I'll just leave
Oh,
it.
I definitely don't want to clean fish. I just want to fish and throw them back in. What do they call that? Catch and release.
Yeah.
I just want to catch and release.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then the final trip we took, there were 3 trips we took, was up to Moosehead Lake.
Yeah, it was in the fall and
Yeah.
in September, the end of September, I think it was. And I had wanted to go to Moosehead Lake for quite a long time. It is a place where moose outnumber humans
3 to 1.
3 to 1.
Yeah. And I had wanted to.
So you would just assume that, okay, if we go up 3 to 1, we have a good chance of seeing some moose.
If you look at a picture of Maine, a map of Maine, and especially one of those that's taken at night with the lights, you see everybody along the coast. And then as you go up north into the northwest part of Maine,
Northwest, yeah.
there's nothing out there. And that's where Moosehead Lake is. It's what I call the end of the road, because the only thing out there really are logging roads. And they do a lot of logging.
You have to want to go to this place, because you wouldn't go through it to get to
somewhere.
someplace else. Yeah,
That's
it's
the other
right.
thing.
Actually, it's not far from the Canadian border where we were.
But it's a beautiful area, all pine forest.
It's gorgeous.
The lake is huge. And we had a really relaxing time there.
Yeah,
I
the
think.
colors were right past peak, but they were still good.
Went on a few hikes, and I think the one that really stood out to me was the B-54 Memorial.
B-52.
B-52. You know, it's where a bomber, actually based out of Massachusetts, I think it was doing some testing on early low-level radar in the 50s, 60s, somewhere in
50s, yeah.
there. And it crashed into a mountainside.
It's in the middle of the winter
You know.
when it
And they had
crashed.
taken all of the pieces out, did the investigation, and then they brought all the pieces back and put them exactly where they found them. And it's set up as a memorial. And as you're going through the wreckage and you try to imagine somebody in the middle of winter with 6 feet of snow crashing in this place, there were 2 survivors. They survived overnight and were rescued the next day, but most of the crew did die. And it gives you time to contemplate about people who serve, either in the military or in frontline services, and put their lives at risk, even if they're not at war or just in day-to-day. And it really was moving to me.
Yeah, I think for both of us it was. And I think there were many layers there that day, that at least for me, there was, number one, just the sight, the understanding of this humongous airplane, because the B-52 is huge, and the wreckage was, I mean, we just kept walking. Steve went one way, I went another, and there were times where I didn't even know where Steve was because That's
It's
how
that-
far the wreckage stretched.
But it was also in a beautiful place. I mean, it was fall. Actually, the leaves were falling, and you could see the leaves falling, and it really evoked.
It was a very opposite
Yeah,
feeling, because here you were in this very beautiful
location.
forest,
Yeah.
but yet you're looking at the wreckage and you go from
Torn metal.
Yeah.
And rubber and tires.
It just was, yeah. It evoked many different emotions.
But
so.
it's also the kind of experience that we want to be able to go out and see as we adventure and find out about different places. And again, I think that trip up to Moosehead Lake really reinforced, what we want to do in the future is to be able to get out and explore and meet new people and adventure and new experiences and new things. I really am looking forward
we
to that.
have, since Mars has come into our lives, we have connected with other Sheltie owners, a lot of them from Woofstock. And if you've never been to Woofstock, if you have a Sheltie or a Pap, or even, it doesn't matter, even a mutt, it's
It's a gathering
a
of
gathering of-
like-minded pet owners.
that love their dogs. Their dogs are their
Yep.
family.
And it supports
Right, raises money for rescue.
rescues.
For Sheltie rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mars was going to be the mascot this year. We really missed out. He still was a mascot because of all the things that Mars has gone to. He went to a first owner. The first owner couldn't put up with the digestive issues. We took him after that, and people think he's a struggle. No, he's brought more to us and taught us more about how to live life and enjoy life than I think we could have ever tried to teach him.
Yeah, I think if you go to Mars's site on Facebook, his Facebook page, you can get a better understanding of not only what he has meant to us and what he has brought to us, but to other people as well. There's a go to his site. I don't want to take up time talking about what's already out there, but you can go and see. But what I was going to say was, some of these other people are also RVers, and 3 or 4 of them. A
Couple of
not 3 or
campsites
4.
that we stay at,
We actually, there were
congregate.
more than that.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably
10,
there were
12,
probably a
20,
dozen. Yeah. And so we all have in common Shelties and RVing, and it was a lot of fun getting
Looking
to know
forward
these
to it next
people.
year,
So
Brad.
yeah, this next year,
We'll be there.
I sure hope we have it.
Any final thoughts about 2020 or forward?
Well, it's kind of in several ways a very difficult year,
But
mainly because of the COVID, and then my dad was very ill at the November and December. I actually
You're very worried.
we were very fortunate that he made it. I did not think
It was not COVID.
he
It
would
was
make.
other
Yeah, it was
issues.
not COVID,
But
but
it was interesting to see all the complications that COVID provided in the healthcare. Only one visitor at the hospital. They're very stringent about allowing people in or out, and it made us realize just how much more impact this has had on everybody. But I still have to look on 2020 as more about a growing experience, because through hardships, we all can grow and reevaluate and come out better on the other side. And I think, as a family, I think we have. I think Mars has come out better. Abby's now queen. I think Nancy and I have come out with a perspective of what we do want to do and what are our priorities in life at this
yeah,
stage
I think
of our
the
life.
hardest part was losing
Losing
Zeva.
Zeva.
Yeah,
But
that
again,
was really hard.
It's when you lose
It still
someone,
is.
it's important to remember the good. And I'm at the stage where I chuckle when I see a napkin lying around because I know Zeva would have gotten it. Or I'm peeling carrots and a carrot peel falls on the floor and Mars just He doesn't sense it as fast as Zeva does.
Yeah, you would think he would, but he doesn't.
Yeah, and I smile now instead of cry, and
Oh,
That's what
I
grieving
still
does.
have my moments of tears.
yeah.
Yeah, with it.
So we're all looking forward, I think, to a better 2021 and beyond. We hope to do a little bit more of this style of updates, maybe not this long, but maybe some shorter live sessions. We have the Concord Traveler YouTube site. We've got Mars on a Mission, Abby the Pap Facebook page. We're going to reevaluate because we love to stay in touch with everybody, and we want to be able to do that, but still carry through the message. And the messages are,
Keep smiling.
and
Be kind.
be kind.
And that's something we all need very much so right now, is especially be kind.
And
Big
I
message.
think
So we
my
got some
thing,
changes coming up.
Be happy.
Yep.
I'm going to add be happy.
Oh, you can add be
Keep
happy.
smiling. Well, that's part of keep smiling.
Yeah.
Be kind, be happy.
But we thank you all for following us over the past, 3 years? 4 years now. And
Look
y'all
forward to
have
maybe
become...
meeting more of you as we get out and about.
Yeah. I mean, our intentions, I think we've decided that we want to RV full-time.
At least
have
for the
a
next 5 years, and then get a home base
home base.
north with Austin and Matt, get a home base south with my family, and just travel all around. And also make sure we venture up into Canada.
Oh, if that border ever opens.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we very much so have enjoyed our travels up to Nova Scotia and want to go up to Newfoundland. And then across the whole breadth of Canada.
Well,
So,
thank you. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
A blessed 2021.
Wishing you love, happiness, peace, and good health.